another reason why RFK Jr. is unfit to serve as head of HHS. So yesterday at his first confirmation hearing, he was asked whether or not he has ever said that COVID is a bioweapon that is racially targeted against certain races.
So I'm asking you yes or no, Mr. Kennedy. Did you say that COVID-19 was a genetically engineered bioweapon that targets black and white people, but spared Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese people?
I didn't say it was deliberately targeted. I just quoted an NIH-funded and NIH published study.
Here's the clip of him making an argument that this is an idea that makes sense.
COVID-19, there's some argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure or different genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted that or not. But there are papers out there that show the racial and ethnic differential and impact to that.
Like I said, this is an absolutely ridiculous idea. This is not true in the slightest. So where is he getting this idea? He's getting it from this paper that was published early in the pandemic in 2020. It's called New Insights into Genetic Susceptibility of COVID-19 and ACE2 and TMPRSS2 Polymorphism Analysis. So essentially what these researchers did was they looked at the genomes of 81,000 humans and tried to determine whether or not their genes code for receptors that SARS-CoV-2 might bind to more readily than other people. This was a completely in silico-based study, meaning it was all done in a computer model. So in other words, the researchers just use a computer model to guess whether or not humans with specific mutations in the receptors that SARS-CoV-2 uses to enter cells would bind SARS-CoV-2 better than others. And their computer model did identify mutations that the computer model thought would bind SARS-CoV-2 more readily than others. And they found that these mutations cluster mostly around African people and non-Finnish Europeans. Meanwhile, these mutations were found to not be present in those of Ashkenazi Jewish descent or the Amish community, as well as South Asian and Latino populations. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr., someone who claims to be very good at reading and interpreting scientific data, which would be an absolutely essential skill for a head of an HHS to have, saw this paper and said that COVID is a bioweapon used to target black people and people of non-Finnish European descent. This shows that he is incompetent and not fit to serve as head of HHS.